Welcome to FMyI for My Innovation. Thanks for watching. For years, FMyI has proudly supported coordinators and associates. Based on user feedback, we rebuilt FMyI from the ground up, using a slick interface called Twitter Bootstrap. Watch as I dynamically resize from a laptop to a tablet to a phone, and you'll see that everything in between looks great. Now this is your My Sites page. This is where you access your district site. You may also have access to a region book of business account servicing site if you're a part of it. Or your state may have a communications site. First, we're going to click on the name of your site. This will get us to your home page. Most importantly, its associates can manage their prospects. These are your prospects in groups. So you can see where they are in the sales funnel. And you can also look at your book of business by enrollment month. You can see the headquarters status. And you can see which are your hot versus your cold prospects and existing groups. So you can really get a good handle from a high level of exactly what's going on in your business, and then dive into the details. There are two ways to add prospects to your site. You can add a prospect to FMyI in the full view by clicking on the orange plus, or in the calendar. Now when you're in the calendar, this works especially great when you're on the go from our mobile view. So I'll click on mobile view here at the top corner, and then I'll make this approximately the size of a phone. You can also bookmark this calendar in your smartphone, whether you're using a Google, Droid, iPhone, BlackBerry. Simply save this web page clicked on the calendar in your mobile view. When you sign in, it'll ask you to save your sign-in, and you'll always be just one click away from a shared calendar where you can look up your calendar or any of the other people on your team. Just remember, you don't have to worry about other people seeing what they're not supposed to. The calendar will keep all of your appointments private. It will, however, let you share the approximate location of where you're going. Now, when you're in the calendar, to add an appointment, you'll simply look to see what's the right time and click on that day. And then you can click on the word Add Appointment. You can put in the name of your prospect. Now this is the most critical step. It says, what page would you like to add your appointment on? FMyI requires that you select a workspace, and each of your prospects will get their own workspace. As you go into a prospect and visit them a few different times to open their account and then follow up on the billing, etc., this gives you a home to leave all of those details. Without it, you would be more disorganized. So you can either add it to your profile, which you don't want to do because other people have access to it, and that won't be organized. Your other two choices are to add a new workspace. So if I've never been to Justin's Car Shop before, I can put here Justin's Car Shop. Or I can search for an existing workspace. I can type here car and search. Now if I've been there before, you'll notice that it lists all of the places that have to do with cars. I do have Billy's and Car Village and Jake's and Sean's, but I don't have Justin's. So I'm going to create a new workspace called Justin's Car Shop. Now I'm going to scroll down and choose the date and time. It already put in the date, and I'm going to select that it's from 2 to 4 p.m. This is the location where you can tell others where you are. So where it says location busy, I can say I'm going to be downtown. This doesn't reveal exactly where the prospect is, but it does allow someone else to schedule the coordinator's time and know where they are in order to leave enough time to get to the next appointment. Although I don't want it to repeat, I do want to send an email reminder, let's say 3 hours before. And then I choose who are the attendees. So I'm logged in right now as the Awesome DSC, and I'm going to attend with Casey Cool Agent. Finally, I click here to add the appointment. You'll note that there's a checkbox called Send an Alert to Attendees. This will automatically send an email with what's called an ICS file to each person attending, which will push it into their local Outlook, Google Calendar, iPhone calendar, or whatever calendar they use, so that it stays in their personal calendar as well. FMyI will not pull things from your calendar into FMyI, but every appointment that you schedule in the system will automatically be able to push to your calendar. Now I'll click Add Appointment, and it takes me back, and you can see here's the appointment on my calendar. Now when I click it, you'll notice that it created a workspace for Justin's Car Shop. I can post a message also on the go by clicking here where it says Post a Message. I could also add a comment. So maybe I want to just comment on this appointment. By leaving the box checked here, I can again send an automatic email to Casey Cool Agent, who can then have a conversation with me. Note that by adding the comment here and an email was sent, if Casey then replies from their phone or email, that will automatically be posted in the site and send me back an email as well. Now I'm also going to switch to the full view because there's more that you can do with this prospect. You'll notice in the full view that in addition to scheduling the appointment, I can go here to the sales funnel and choose where we are in the process. I'll say that I need to follow up. You'll notice that it puts up a message down here and it tells me who posted it and when. Now, I can also put in the contact information for this group here on the right where it says Contact Info. I just hover over Contact Info and click Add New. And then click Add Contact. You'll notice the contact information here on the right. When you're on a mobile device, you'll actually be able to click on the phone number to call. You can click Map It to look up the address, and you can click on the email address to open up an email to this client. You'll notice when I click on that email that it opens up an email from you and it automatically BCCs back into the site. So it's easy to send your client an email and keep the records of what you sent. If you're working with another person on this prospect, you'll notice their name listed here on the right under Members and Access. So here, Casey Cool Agent and the Awesome DSC are working together, and that's why whatever one person posts, the other one is kept up to date. You'll notice in the center, there's a latest activity section. It looks just like your favorite social network, where everything that's posted regarding this one prospect stays secure and organized in this one spot. Also, going down the right are all of the details that you could fill in as you find out about this group. Now, here in the top, we're going to keep the group up to date in our sales funnel by just dragging and dropping where it goes. And if I go back to the home page and I click on the sales funnel where it says Need to Follow Up, Justin's Car Shop is going to be one of the groups that's listed here. You'll also notice when I click here on Justin's Car Shop that I have the option to click on Previous or Next, and I can literally flip through my contacts. So I can go through, call on this business, and then go to the next. It makes it very organized. I'm going to go back to the home page. Let's take a look now at adding the prospect from the full view. Again, this process will only take you between 30 seconds and a minute and a half. You click the orange plus, type in the account name. So here my prospect's going to be called Phil's. Again, I'm going to mark this as a hot prospect. We only recommend putting in your hot prospects and then whatever else you'd like to put in. So if you're setting an appointment with a group or you have a great referral into that business, mark it as a hot prospect. Again, you'll notice here it's private. I don't have to do anything, and I'll just choose who's working this group with me. I'm not going to select a team because the entire associate team is not working with me. However, in this case, I'm working with both Good Looking Agent and my RSC. I'll click on the orange button here to create a workspace, but since I know I want to put the phone number and address in, I can click here where it says to create contact information as well. The rest of the process is the same. I can select where this group is in the sales funnel. They're between a no and a yes, and I can post a note. I can also flag what happened. So I would consider this to be a DM presentation, and then I can click Add. Note that it's going to send an alert to these two people because I'm working with them on this prospect. It adds it to the history, and now I can move on to the next. Remember that your information today is your income tomorrow. So you want to note the most important things that happen with your best leads so that you can follow up and not let any details slip through the cracks. To get started with FMyI, your coordinator will send you an invitation. You'll choose that you've either used FMyI before and you have your own username and password, or that you've never used FMyI, and so you need to create a new username and password to access the site. Once you do, you'll be on a page here called My Sites. There's also a Settings tab. When you click on that, you'll notice that you can link FMyI to your favorite social network. Now, it's not going to actually push information to any social network. It's just easier than remembering another username and password. So if you want to link to, for example, your LinkedIn account, you would just click on the icon and it will ask you to log into LinkedIn and it will save that connection for you. Then in the future, you can just say, sign me on with LinkedIn. Obviously, you don't want to choose a social network if someone else has access to log in. Now, you can also change your password by clicking here, Change Password, and simply type in the current password and put in a new password. You can also edit your email settings, so you can decide which address you want to use, and also for each site you're in, you can choose a different address. You can also make sure your time zone is correct. This is absolutely critical because all of your appointments will show up in your time zone. And if you're traveling, you can also change your time zone. Let's go back to My Sites and dive in to look at the details. Now let's say I want to check in with all of those enrollments that I'm about to conduct. So I click here on Conduct Enrollments and it'll show me those two. When I check off Danny's Diner, it's got the phone number and I can go ahead and make the phone call. But let's say I need to call them back soon. I can actually click here where it says Remind Me and easily choose when I want to follow up. I can choose 2 weeks. It'll automatically put in the day. I can choose the time and I can type what I want to be reminded of. By doing this, it will show up on your task list and also appear here on the page. When I'm finished with it, I can simply check off the box. Let's take a look at the history of this prospect. You'll notice that each of the messages that's posted here has an Actions button. If I want to edit a message, I simply click Edit. However, you'll notice that a lot of messages cannot be edited. That's because we're trying to preserve the date and timestamp. This is your proof of what was done and when. So if you need it changed, simply contact your coordinator or an admin for this site and ask them to edit the message with you. You will lose the date and timestamp. An alternative is simply to add a comment below and explain what's changed. You'll also notice if I go to the top of the site that in the post box we can post lots of things. We can add a file, and the file is simply to browse your computer and choose an attachment just like you would to an email. You can use link, although you probably won't need to. You can use that to link to an external website. Appointment is how you add an event to your calendar, and a task is simply a to-do that you want to set for other people. On the right-hand column where you see prospects and groups, we've labeled this as a hot prospect. If that changes, simply go here to where it says Workspace Category and click Edit. Now I can change this from a hot prospect to an existing group if we open it up, and just click Save. Now also I can change here Danny's Diner by going to Actions and clicking Edit, Page Name and Description. And I can add the account number once I open it up as an account. If Danny's Diner was linked to another page in the site, there's a spot here called Linked Workspaces. Maybe this was referred by another business, or maybe they gave me a referral, or maybe there's two businesses that are connected and I wanted to give each one their own workspace. So you simply click Add or Edit, and then you can search for a workspace that you want to link together. So I'll put in here Justin, and it found the car shop. Adding a cross link means that I add it here and it'll put the link on Justin's page as well. Now I'm linked to Justin's car shop, so if I go back to Danny's Diner, I can see Justin's car shop and simply click on it to get to it. To remove a link, simply click the X. When you're working with another agent on a group, if you need to add or remove their access, remember you can click Edit and you can decide exactly who should have access. So I can give the demo admin access, and I can take away access from somebody I'm working with simply by changing it to a blank. Remember, keep your site organized by adding all of the appointments and notes to the page for that group or prospect. If you're going to have an associate and coordinator training, you can go to any person's profile page, which I'll do here by clicking on the word My Profile, and you can add the training here as you add an appointment. You would just put down who's going to the training, choose a date and a time, and make sure you check off all of the attendees. Once you add that, it will appear in your calendar as an appointment. When you're working with just a few groups or a few prospects, it's easy to keep track of the details. But as your business grows and expands, and you look back, you'll be happy that you kept it organized in a system that allows you to grow your organization in a very sustainable way. If you need assistance, simply email support@fmyi.com. Be sure to leave a detailed email, including the name of your site, your username, and any question that you might have. That way we can get back to you with answers. Also, you can call us at 1-888-369-4266. That stands for 888-FMYI-COM. If you're leaving a message because you don't reach one of our support team members, be sure to leave a detailed message, including your name, how to best reach you, and exactly what your question is. We do answer those calls quickly, and we want to make sure we can get you an answer if you're not available when we call back. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we wish you the best of luck with your business and look forward to supporting your team.